Happy Thursday, y'all. Shit, today ain't even Thursday. Hell, happy Wednesday, y'all. Y'all know I'm getting old and my mind bad. Listen, I am feeling much better today than I was yesterday. I am definitely in a more upbeat mood today where I don't have to fake it, where I don't have to fake it to get through the show. Listen, it was somebody in the comments yesterday that commented in the replay, and they were like, Funky Dineva, you don't have to come on if you feeling that way, because your negative energies are bringing down everybody else's energy. And I politely told her ass, and just like I don't have to come on if you feel like your energy is being brought down, you don't have to be here. Okay, there's 9 million other YouTube pages you can go on. Guys, I try to pride myself on not being the fake, phony talk show host that just comes on and gives you guys this fake ass performance every day. And I think that part of our bond is the fact that we operate as real human beings, and we have up days and we have down days. Some days I don't feel like coming into this SHIT. Other days I'm sick. Yesterday was just one of them days. And another thing, okay, I had on a black shirt yesterday and it had lint all over it. Believe it or not, I was wearing, y'all want to know what all that lint was? It was cold outside, and I had on, believe it or not, she was on the show. I had on my Born Worthy sweatsuit before I came on the show, y'all, and that was lint from the sweatsuit that was on the black shirt. And if a little bit of lint on my shirt is enough to get your panties in a bunch and all roughed up, and you don't want to follow and you don't want to be here no more, then just go away. Go away. If you're so distracted by some lint, then go away. It's 8 o'clock at night. I've been running around doing stuff all day, just like y'all been doing stuff all day. And some days when I come in here, all I got enough time to do is drink my water and sit down. And if a little bit of lint is enough to send you in the tizzy, then go the hell somewhere else talking about my fashions. And speaking about fashions, guys, I'm really excited because tonight we've got a black young man on the show who is a history-making fashion designer. We're going to get into all the history that he has made and his significance to black women in fashion later on in the show. But before we get started, I got to tell y'all a very funny story. So Wednesdays, I take the dogs to dog training at Petco. Petco is located next to, obviously the dogs ain't being trained good enough. These dogs been in this house ever since we got back home at 4:15, and they ain't barked a word. They want to wait good until I get on the line with y'all, and then they'll get upset if I put them. Y'all be wanting to call the ASPCA on me if I put them in their cage. Nevertheless, I use Wednesdays as an opportunity to go to HomeGoods, and y'all know that I am a cologne junkie. There's no amount of money that I won't spend on cologne, and if I like it, I'll buy it. I have a whole bunch of fragrances. So today was the very first time that I wore this one. It's Bond number 9. It's Bond number 9 Dubai Emerald. The bottle is actually green, but you can't tell because I'm on a green screen. It's Bond number 9 Dubai Emerald. And some colognes and perfumes, you have to spray 1 or 2 sprays on, and that's enough. Others, you can kind of use it like a body spray. Bam, bam. Bam, bam, spray a little bit over your clothes and go out the door. Since I had never worn this one before, I sprayed it on and I did, I did damn, rubbing like here, sprayed some over the shirt. Baby, when I got in that car, I almost gave my own self a stroke. This cologne was so strong. And y'all know I'm very, very, very insecure about people saying anything about smell as it relates to me. You don't never want to be the person who's walking around with so much cologne on that it is offensive. Baby, I walked in HomeGoods and Old White Rich Fish got me all the way together. I had the dogs in the buggy and I'm pushing the dogs, and the lady, I almost ran into her because she was coming down one aisle. I was coming this way. We couldn't see each other. So I almost ran into her. She saw the dogs. She was like, "May I pet your dogs?" I said, "Sure." So she's petting the dogs. I'm playing with the reefs and the faux plants. So then she did like this. "Ooh, you've got perfume on them." And I said, no, there's no perfume on them. They should smell like puppies. She's like, ew, I smell perfume. And baby, she kept frowning up her face. And instantly, guys, I shrank. I shrank so little. And I was like this in the store. And here I go talk about, no, I think it's the fragrance from the plants and from the wreaths and stuff that they got over here. And at that time, I did think it was the fragrance of the store because I had had it on for so long. I had got nose blind. Baby, when I got over there by the towel aisle and I smelled myself, I had an internal cry. I was like, oh my God, I'm the funky old man walking around the store, offending everybody because 10 minutes after I leave the section, they could still smell my cologne. Everybody is laughing at me. Instantly, I got social anxiety. I was like, oh my God. And I always visit this HomeGoods with the dogs. That's my brand. I'm always at HomeGoods with the dogs. So now, them people go in the break room. They're going to be talking about me like a dog down to the time clock. Talking about, yeah, you know the black guy that comes in here with the 2 dogs all the time. Oh my God, he smelled so strong with all that cologne. Now I got to find a different HomeGoods to go to because Rich Whitefish was offended by my Bond number 9 Dubai Emerald. And quiet as it's kept, as old as her ass is, you would think that her olfactory senses wouldn't be so damn sensitive. Baby, that old white lady had done got me all the way together. And I want to tell you the thing that offended me the most. It was scrunching up her, Now, Caroline, you ain't got to scrunch your face. I mean, she was like this. Ooh, and you've got perfume on them. She was acting like she was repulsed. You know what I'm saying? And I could understand if this was some old powdery, floral, cheap swap meat type of stuff. Rather she was smelling it faintly or rather she was smelling it generously. It's a beautiful fragrance, okay? But baby, she scrunched her face up like I smelled like porta potty or a homeless person. Oh, half-a. I should have told her it was all that damn Aquanet she had in her hair, had it teased to the damn gods trying to do me. All in HomeGoods. That's why you running out of money, bitch, and you shopping at HomeGoods with us regular people. Oh, half-a had done embarrassed me down to the HomeGoods. Nevertheless, that's what happened to me today, guys. Oh, half-a. Guys, I've got a little bit of sad news to report today. We got a funeral and poor thing, Kamala lost, but good thing we got still $6-point-something million in our funeral fund. Now, listen, guys, if you're anything like me, y'all probably didn't even know who this man was because I didn't know who Barry Michael Cooper was, but he was a renowned writer and producer of New Jack City and Above the Rim. He passed away today, guys, at the age of 66. So writer Barry Michael Cooper's passed away in Baltimore, Maryland, according to an exclusive by TMZ. He started his career as a journalist, contributing to notable publications like Spin Magazine and The Village Voice, where he honed his craft and made his mark in the industry. Cooper was the creative force behind a number of iconic films, such as the 90s New Jack City, featuring Wesley Snipes and Chris Rock, as well as Above the Rim, featuring Tupac Shakur and Sugar Hill. He also brought his talents as a television producer for the series She's Gotta Have It, which ran from 2017 to 2019 and was inspired by the Spike Lee film named the same. His cause of death has not been revealed, but news outlets in Maryland chief medical examiner's office have confirmed that he passed away at 66. 66 is so young, so we definitely want to offer our condolences to his family. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but didn't Mario Van Peebles have something to do with New Jack City? And I know Mario Van Peebles directs. I am a little I don't know what adjective to use, but I'm a little, I don't know, ashamed. I never heard this man's name. For New Jack City to have been such an iconic film. Okay, and the people in the chat are saying Mario Van Peebles directed it. I know he had something to do with it. I don't know why I just always attributed New Jack City to Mario Van Peebles, but shouts out to Barry Michael Cooper for blessing us with the urban fiction works that he had. New Jack City and Above the Rim are definitely African-American cult classics in the movie space. And whoever said our old smell like Old Spice, I hope your granddaddy dead with a bottle of Old Spice in his casket, you bastard. Uh, moving right along, guys, to some more sad news and some more funeral news. The more and more we do these stories, the more and more I begin, ooh, this was not the one I wanted to do. Girl, get off my line. She just jumped all on the screen. She jumped on the screen. That was not the story we were supposed to be doing. The story we were supposed to be doing was about, hold on, hold your line 1 second. Hold your line 1 second. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull it all the way up. I'm going to pull it all the way up. This is the story we're supposed to be doing. Bam, because we got another film to report. Bam. There she go. Guys, unfortunately, these school shootings are becoming all too common. And I'm sad to report we've got another one to report. 2 students have shot at Antioch High School in Nashville. The gunman takes his own life. Take a look and a listen.
To this point, we know that at 11:09 a.m., a person who has been identified as a 17-year-old, armed with a pistol, fired multiple shots in the cafeteria of the school. The individual wounded 2 other students, one of them fatally, before shooting and killing himself. There is no danger at the school. The police department's SWAT team has cleared the building. We have identified the shooter, again, as I said, a 17-year-old, and the investigation is advancing now. One of the persons that this...
All right, so guys, this took place in the Nashville area. The gunman took himself. Here's the reality of the situation, and here's where we at with it. Obviously, we're not getting any type of gun reform or gun laws anytime soon. And, you know, it's who's to say gun reform and change of gun laws will stop any of this at this point? In my opinion, and it's a very simple fix. It's a very simple fix that I don't think would be an extremely costly fix. But at this point, there needs to be metal detectors at every entrance and exit of every school. I think that that is a very simple governmental, whether it be state or federal fix that can at least help deter some of this gun stuff. One of my good friends is a principal at my alma mater. Shouts out to Dr. Bridget McKinney, who was also my dance and drama teacher and my mentor. And, you know, she shared with me that during some of the scares that they've had at their school, that, you know, some of what the kids are doing is throwing the book bags over the gate. You can't metal detect the whole doggone campus, that they're throwing the book bags over the gate with the clips or the guns in them. So who's to say that even metal detectors would keep this from happening? But there's a lot going on with these school shootings, and I just don't know. You know, I wouldn't want to be a parent these days. You know what I'm saying? I have the beauty of only having to worry about my dogs not escaping out of my yard or not going into my neighbor's yard. When we were in school, our parents had the 100% luxury of knowing that between the hours of 7:30 and 2:30, we were safe. We were safe. We were safe from getting shot. We were safe from, you know, all things outside of normal school kid things. A little bit of roughhousing, a little bit of bullying. Everybody survived to see another day. Everybody grew up to live. But these days and times, even as I sit here and talk through metal detectors being instituted, I mean, these kids are smart. And now that I think about my high school, if you think about the square perimeter of the building, I mean, hell, the whole sides of the school on all 4 sides is a chain link fence. We all knew what part of the school and what part of the gate to go to in order to skip school. We did. We knew which part of the gate was weak, which part we could jump, which part we could push. We all knew. So even doing that may not be enough to keep. So maybe the answer is metal detectors at every door in the every classroom door and every cafeteria door. I don't know what to say. And unfortunately, guys, if any of you remember Columbine, that was my first school shooting that I remember. Was it Columbine, or was Columbine the school, or was it the one in the movie theater, which was the first one? Either way, remember when that happened, guys, that was something that you stopped, the news stopped the programming. You was in there, your grandma was in there watching the stories or watching in the heat of the night, and it was like, this is breaking news. They're saying Columbine was the first one. This was breaking news. Child, they don't even stop the news. They don't even stop the TV no more for the school shootings. And look how we just report these school shootings and we move right the hell on to the next story, because school shootings have now become business as usual. Okay, they say Sandy Hook was the first one. No. Sandy Hook was not the first one. Columbine was the first one. Columbine was the first one. Yeah. Nevertheless, we have become so desensitized as Americans that I'm about to roll on to this next story, and y'all ain't even gonna feel no ways tired about this. Y'all ain't gonna feel, we ain't gonna feel no ways tired. We just finna roll on to the next story, because this is now becoming an every month occurrence, and we are 100% desensitized to this. It's just like, oh, another one. Oh, well, I mean, I guess since people just dropping like flies and dying and it's normal, I guess it's normal for me to move the hell on. Now, I know that this going to upset y'all more than Donald Trump taking office. Baby, these people don't gooped us. Netflix announces that it will raise its premiums from $17.99 to $24.99 a month. Premium subscribers. And so a plan with ads will be $7.99. Okay. Now, see, y'all got to remember, the whole beauty of Netflix is that it was a non-ad platform. It was a subscription-based platform. But the reality of the situation is the subscription model, without charging $25 and $30 a month for a subscription-based model, it literally is impossible to stay competitive at $7.99 when commercials is what drives the media business. I always tell people, and this is something that I later found out after being a YouTuber and a TV/media personality for a very long time, 14 years. I'm actually not in the media business. I'm not in the making TV business. I am not in the content creation business. I am not in the social media influencer business. I am in the advertising business. TV and movies have absolutely nothing to do with telling stories and entertaining people. The people at the top, they can care less in the hell about the creative. They can care less in the hell about the lives they touch and the stories that they tell. This is the advertising business. It always has been and always will be. Hence the ads that y'all are getting in the middle of my live stream. I am not in the TV business. I am in the advertising business. And the unfortunate thing is, I finally broke down, what service did I buy the other day? I finally subscribed to Disney Plus because I was able to, I upped my Hulu from the one with commercials. I went to change it to no commercials. Then I bundled in HBO Max and Disney Plus. So I'm about 30 something dollars over at Hulu. I got the Netflix with no ads, so I'm in the teens. I'm just gonna say $15 over there. That already got me at 45. I got Amazon Prime. That's another 15 or 12. So that's 60. And then I got what else I got? I got Apple, so that's another 12. So that's 70 something. long story short, guys, we are right back where we started at this thing called what? Cable. Oh, and I've got cable too. I've got direct TV stream, and I'm paying 160 something for direct TV stream. So between all these streaming services and this doggone cable, we are back at doggone cable. And quiet as it's kept, though, I will say this: cable ain't hitting on shit. If anything, I'm probably gonna cancel my cable, because whenever I turn on my TVs, I instantly go to my streaming services, because don't nothing be coming on this cable. Now, I know y'all have seen a lot of this drama. I never cared for these relationship podcasts at all. Okay. But the one that I did pay attention to was tonight's conversation, because every time they posted clips, the people in the clips were definitely talking good stuff that was logical and that made sense. And of all the relationship podcasts out there, guys, this was the only one that held my attention for the span of one of their clips. Now, I never watched a whole long one in their entirety, but I watched it. But guys, tonight's conversation seemed to have imploded. And take a listen to this and we'll talk about it.
Hi, and welcome to episode 1 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? So because I'm unemployed, this is my content now. So if you like content like this, like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that little bell notification. So this is the creator of the pod. This is Randy Rosario, Mike the Poet, Trip Fontaine, Fine Ass Keita Rose, and Mojo Gacha. A lot of you guys are like, well, I don't care about this bitch or that bitch. Where's my favorite? Oh, shit, there she go to your favorite. She be dropping them gems. This is Kitty Rose. She got Randy out quick, fast. She said, I want your spot. How can I manipulate everyone to get it? I'm going to detail that, though, in the following episodes. It's going to be like 500 episodes. Uh-oh, bonus feature. This guy says he used to be with Kitty, but that can't be true, because it would have been around the time she was married, and she can't stand side bitches, and she can't stand cheating women. Oh, the drama, the tea. Hope we all heal.
So here's where I'm at with tonight's conversation. To be honest with you, I'm not interested in what happened. I won't be indulging in the back and forth. I won't be in the ins and outs of it all. And the sole reason why I have no interest in any of it whatsoever is because I think at the very end of the day, the culture lost. I think that this was one of the good, or one of the better relationship podcasts that actually had conscious-minded people who had things of substance to say. And I'm going to tell you something. The death of this and the implosion of this puts me in the same place that I was when TGIF collapsed. I'm going to be very honest with you, and I strongly believe that TGIF had a whole lot more work to do, and that there were a whole lot of places that TGIF could have gone, and that show died prematurely, and that it was a really good thing that imploded from the inside out. And I kind of get the same vibe from this situation. I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? The same thing is happening with them. So many people have quit. So obviously there is something that is going on. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I really don't care what's going on, because regardless of right, wrong, indifferent, who did what, who said what, the culture lost. And that's the sad part. The culture is who lost. Just like when TGIF imploded, it was so much bigger than all parties involved. It was the culture that lost. So this is sad. This is unfortunate. You know, a lot of y'all are asking what happened. I don't know what happened. I'm not interested in what happened, because what happened doesn't change the fact that the whole thing is imploded. And I can tell you right now that it's about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly because there are too many people that quit, which means there are too many names that are about to get brought up in stories, which means there are too many people who want to get their sides across. And when that happens, it's just going to be a cornucopia of he say, she say. And to be honest with you, I don't want no parts of it. Moving right along, and speaking of wanting no parts, I didn't want no parts of that. Just like I didn't want no parts of that Chris Brown documentary that allegedly did nothing. Did the Chris Brown documentary ever come out? The one that was supposed to come out and paint him so bad as a that are supposed to what's about to get ugly, people. Quentin are at people want to know a synopsis of what you're talking about. So what I was talking about, guys, in the previous story was the Tonight's Conversation podcast. Keita Rose and a bunch of other people on that cast have quit. They were touring. All of a sudden it popped up with, I won't be on this date. I won't be on this date. And Keita Rose is alleging that the guy that started it and the dark-skinned girl, Kitty, there's some drama and some beef. Again, I don't know the ins and outs. The only thing that's important is that the podcast has imploded. If y'all want to go get engulfed in all that drama, y'all can go do that. But I've got, better things to do over here on my side of the aisle. Nevertheless, guys, Chris Brown files a $500 million defamation lawsuit against Ample and Warner Brothers following the release of the documentary. So I don't even remember if the documentary came out, and if it did come out, it didn't stop no show. I think that there must have been some type of expectation that this documentary was going to do to Chris Brown what the R. Kelly documentary did to R. Kelly. And to be honest, this documentary did absolutely nothing, because if it did come out, I don't even remember there being buzzworthy clips big enough on the blogs for me to talk about on my show. So the beautiful thing is, while the documentary may have been defamatory towards Chris Brown, it was not enough to sway public opinion when it comes to our talented brother Chris. A lot of people are saying the documentary showed what we already know. They say it was on Max, and that's good to know. All of that is good to know. But I think more importantly, for those of us who are Chris Brown fans, it did not derail Chris Brown and what he's got going on too much. Now, listen, I'll never be a fan or support domestic violence and domestic abuse. I also think that there is a world where you can support people's art and not support their personal lives. I'm not canceling R. Kelly. You're not going to force me into thinking that every single last one of those songs were about him singing about little girls. And even if they are, that's not it was for me. Art is left to interpretation, and it's about how I interpret said songs and what it does. It makes me feel when I listen to it, and I take the same stance with Chris Brown. I like his music. I like his entertainment, and I am able to separate the artist from their personal lives. So I don't know whether Chris Brown did all that they said he did. If they did, and if they're wrong, I hope he get his $500 million. And if he did do it and he is in the wrong, I hope he don't get his $500 million. And that's where I'm at with it. Moving right along to somebody else who need to go sit her. I almost said something real non-politically correct. I'm tired of Jeani Mai. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of her. I'm tired of Jeani Mai. Jeani Mai don't call the police to Jeezy home. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I cannot stomach and stand situations like this. And we are not in those people's house. We are not in their household. I don't know who is right in the situation, and I don't know who is wrong in this situation. But what I see when I look at this is two people who need to leave each other the hell alone. Okay? Somebody coming to get their belongings should not be this complicated. Somebody coming to get their belongings it just should not be this complicated, especially considering the fact that the divorce has already been finalized. Okay. What this is giving me, and again, I'm just being presumptuous here, but it is honestly giving me that it's Jeani with the mess. Because Jeani, in my personal opinion, you are rich enough that with the exception of like sentimental items and family pictures, whatever the hell it is you left around that damn man house, let it stay there, damn it. Let it stay there. Girl, if we talking about some clothes and some bags and some sheets and a Ninja blender, let the stuff stay there, damn it. Let it stay there. I would just let it stay there. And Jeezy, you ain't no better because you should have mailed that ish to her mammy house. You should have mailed it to her mama house. Or you should have got a pod. Or you should have put that SHIT in a pod. Or you should have went down to public storage and got a public storage and had the movers put that in the storage. You should have had the movers put that stuff in the storage. And when you showed up to mediation, you should have gave her the key to the storage number, and told her, I will be paying this storage for 90 days. You have 90 days to get your stuff out of this storage locker. And so it's giving. It's giving. Jeezy, you wanted her to come to the house and see her stuff all packed up any old kind of way, newfangled way and damaged. And it's giving. Jeani, you couldn't wait to get your ass back over there so you could stir up mess and confusion and call the police. Both of y'all are equally to blame in this situation. Y'all are rich. Y'all are rich. Y'all are carrying on like Rashad and Tanika. Rashad and Tanika ain't got no money. So Tanika gotta bring her cousins them riding there with the U-Haul truck that they rented on a credit card. And it ain't no choice but for some mess to pop off, because man got a gun in his waist and they talking loud all in front of your yard in your nice Caucasian neighborhood. There is no reason why people with money like this should be having these types of problems. Jeani Mai, oh my. Y'all are the type of rich that y'all have enough money, baby. Out of to hell with them clothes. He could have had all them damn clothes. He could have had the clothes. I would have called round there. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even call round there. I would have had my mama call round there with a Rosetta Stone translator and told him, listen, can you just put her graduation pictures, her yearbook, and her quinceañera dress in a box, mail that box to me in California, and the rest of that shit, you could throw it away. I'm not understanding. I don't have remotely close to the amount of money that they have, in every material possession I got in my house, because I'm sitting in my closet right now. Every material possession I got in my house right now, if I left it around somebody's house that I didn't want to be with no more, they could have it. They could have it. They could have it. Because Jeani Mai, you're not finna convince any of us that you left from over there with just the clothes on your bike. You're not finna convince any of us that you left from over there with just the clothes on your bike. I am more than convinced that you left from over there. I know you took your jewelry. I know you took the things that were valuable to you. So what else is left over there? Some mess that your ass could rebuy. Some mess. You are just trying to get an emotional response out of that man. One of my favorite quotes: when people no longer have access to you physically, they'll try to access your emotions. One more time for the slow people in the back. When people can't have access to you physically, they will try to access your emotions. Okay? And that's what's going on in this case. I'm finna already tell y'all what the next thing finna be. She finna fire up again with this "I don't feel safe with my baby being around now." She finna fire up again with calling the children and families when the babies is around there. Girl, ain't nothing over there but some cracked teacups and some chopsticks. If your ass don't call Super China Buffet and get some more damn chopsticks from around there, I know something. Stirring up all this confusion over some damn clothes. Hey, claims belongings were put in a garage, left in wet boxes, surrounded by mouse traps. This don't even sound right. This don't even sound right. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. If anything was wet, it was a box. It was a box. Maybe something spilled. You not finna sit up here and get me to believe that this man in that rich ass house got a bunch of wet boxes down there and mouse and rat traps. Rat traps in his garage suggest that he got rats. I don't know anybody who rich like this and not like this who is comfortable living with rats and wet boxes that's gonna be moldy and stink. And if they are in the garage, guess what else is in the garage? Several of his 90 million cars. Girl, for some damn clothes. And speaking of clothes, guys, this is a perfect time for me to bring a special guest to the stage. We have got a history-making Black designer on the show today to talk to you guys. And you remember we talked yesterday about people who wanting to jump out there and pursue their passions and start new things. And if you are somebody who is trying to break into the fashion business and you want to start your own fashion line, then you definitely want to hear what Kadeem Alonso Fife has to say. And without further ado, I'd like to bring to the stage Kadeem Alonso Fife. Kadeem, what is going on?
Hi, I'm so good.
You?
I'm doing great. I'm such a big fan of you. This is such a full circle moment. I have been following you since the Jocelyn Hernandez reviews.
Oh, wow.
When I tell you, I wouldn't have known what Love and Hip Hop was if it wasn't for you.
My God.
But I've been with you from the beginning, the Scandal reviews, and I'm just so happy to be on your show today. You and I had the same publicist, so we're working together.
We got the same haircut.
Okay, period. I was like, we kind of look alike.
I know the ladies gonna get mad about this, but it just feels good to have a goddamn man on the show for once, and not another girl selling candles. Now, shouts out to all my candle girls. So, Kadeem, it goes without saying, you made a history-making moment for African Americans in a certain space. I don't want to blow the whistle. I'm going to let you blow the whistle. Tell the people what that history-making statement / move / accomplishment was as I queue up this very special video. Go ahead, my brother.
Okay, so I recently, that's go to the beginning of it.
Oh, can I go to the beginning? Hold on.
Okay, so I last November I showed a couture collection at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. And the history making part that you're referencing is that I am the first Black American designer. And actually, I think I was one of the first American designers to be able to put on a show at the Kennedy Center. And so I really focused on trying to investigate the conversation between the fashion designer, the person who's being tributed, and then also the performer. And so there you saw Cynthia Erivo performing Alfie for Dionne Warwick. This is a piece that I designed that was a reference sort of to the past, these operatic moments and that sort of old school glamour. And
Mhm.
then the second piece, which you'll see in my beautiful model here, Jeani Mai, she was a contestant on America's Next Top Model. She was one of the fan favorites. So this is the second piece that I created, which was also my favorite, where I was thinking more about the present, and it was really a reference to that Cynthia Erivo piece where she's arms outstretched with the floral moment. And so this is me just talking about how Black women have always been supermodels in my life. Like my mom is a minister, and it's the Sunday's best, that sort of inspiration. Mm-hmm. And then that third piece was about the future. And so I separated the collection past, present, and future. And I also did a presentation and then an interview. And it was a really, really great moment for me. And like, I am still on cloud nine about this event, which again was called Back in Black, a tribute to the sartorial, Back in Black, a sartorial tribute to Black women at the Kennedy Center Honors. And I grew up watching the Kennedy Center Honors award shows like the Oscars, the Emmys. And I always thought one of these days I'm going to be up there accepting my award. But in the meantime, I'll be designing for those beautiful women, specifically Black women that are on the stage accepting their award. And one of the quotes that I wanted to highlight that I said at the beginning of my presentation was a quote from Viola Davis when she's wearing the red dress when she won the Emmy for How to Get Away with Murder. And she goes, the only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is opportunity. And I took that quote in addition to a quote by John F. Kennedy that talks about setting the artist free. And I started my project there. And I really think about that. The only thing that separates Black people, Black men, Black queer people, Black women from anybody else is opportunity. And so the thing that I have been blessed with is opportunity. I have created my own opportunities. No one's really handed me anything, but I wanted to really give Black women their flowers in this moment. And one thing that what I'll say is, I touched on the fact that I was the first Black male designer to host a couture fashion show at the Kennedy Center, which was amazing. And then really, the show was a love letter to Black women about their resilience, creativity, and boldness, which have influenced my work since day one. And I really, I'm being told to slow down. So I talk fast. I'm trying to get in a lot at once.
You're good.
Okay, so their resilience, creativity, and boldness which have influenced my work since day one. And I really try to center Black women and the Black experience and Black excellence at the root and core of everything that I do. And so the collection, again, was really a showcase of vintage-inspired looks and then taking you through a journey to modern couture. And so, as you can see, that last piece was really, really, forward thinking. And so, yeah, it was really cool. Like, I feel like I'm living my impossible dream. And one of the songs I'll end here about the Kennedy Center is that one of my favorite performances is by Cynthia Erivo, where she opens the show and she sings "Impossible Dream." And one of the lines is, and I'll reach the impossible star, and I'll reach my impossible dream. Wow. And in the intro, you may have mentioned that I'm Jamaican American. So my family immigrated here. My two parents immigrated here in the late 80s. And then I got to be the firstborn American. I've really carried that weight on my shoulders for so long that I needed to succeed. And I always thought, I knew that I was going to be successful. I've had dreams, very, very clear dreams about what my destiny is going to be. But the Kennedy Center was something that didn't occur to me that could ever happen. I didn't think I would be a designer at my age of 33 to be talked amongst, icons like Queen Latifah, Diana Ross, the president attends, things like that. And so my obsession with the Kennedy Center actually then became something that, was something that I could actually achieve. And so at the end of my presentation, my dad was there. I said thank you to him for coming here, giving me this opportunity to achieve our American dream, but also for all my friends coming to support me and witness me sitting in a moment that I thought was impossible. So I did, in fact, reach the unreachable star.
You reached that. That is an amazing story. And I can only imagine what it feels like to get an opportunity to do something as significant and big as the Kennedy Art Center. But you didn't get there from nowhere. You had to start.
Yeah.
So tell us about how you got started. And for those of you asking, what's he got going on, what he's pushing, his book is called Threading the Needle, and it's all about starting your own fashion collection, fashion business, and all that. Kadeem, tell us a little bit about your story and what people can find in the book as it relates to helping them get started.
Absolutely. So thank you again for bringing me on this platform, being able to talk with the Funky Bunch. I'm like, I feel like I'm going from audience member to being on stage, but I'm definitely here to talk about my book, Threading the Needle, a fashion designer's guide to successfully launching your first collection. And I'll explain at the end how you can get a book, but I'll get yourself a copy. But I started off in the industry when I was 21. I studied studio art at University of Richmond, and then I went to Parsons School of Design, the number one design school in the country. I was the only
I know that from America's. I mean, what's the sewing show?
Project Runway.
Project Runway.
Yes.
I know that. Yes.
They filmed Project Runway at Parsons, and so I did not want to go on the show, but I went there for grad school, and I studied fashion design there with a focus on women's wear couture. So again, these one-of-a-kind pieces. And my first job was I worked as an intern at Michael Kors women's collection. So the stuff that you saw on the runway, I was helping design, and I worked directly with Michael Kors.
You didn't help make some of them cheap purses that they be wearing.
No, I did not. I was not on the accessories team.
Out of Ross, because the girls love wearing old dirty Michael Kors purse. Go ahead, Kadeem.
No, so it's funny that you mentioned that, because that was the time period when I worked with him, like 2013, 2014. Every girl had a Michael Kors bag. Anyway, it made him $1 billion. Listen, one day I might be the Michael Kors later down the line. I don't care if you're buying my stuff at Ross. The point is, I'm paid. Okay, but so I worked as an intern there, and then from there, I realized that I was not cut out for corporate America. I'm like you. I don't respond well to authority. I'm more of an entrepreneur. I have more of an entrepreneurial spirit. I'm creative. I'm Black. I'm openly queer. And people do not like that when you're coming to a boardroom table telling, some 50-year-old white man that he's wrong, even if he is. And so the industry is very white, female dominated. And I didn't realize that until I got there, that I would be working with Amy and Susan every day, and Nicole, but and they did not like my presence at the table. And so I realized I wasn't going to succeed the way that I wanted to and be able to achieve my dream working within the corporate system. So that led me to about 3 years into my career. I took a hiatus. I went to Australia. I worked as a model and actor for a year. I was like, I can't be here anymore, and I want to see who Kadeem is outside of the context of America, outside of the context of fashion. And I had to get to the core of me in order to fall in love with fashion. And so then I came back, and I realized that I could mend my love of fashion, but also my love of creating new things and helping people, and specifically Black people and other people of color and other marginalized communities that don't often get included in the fashion conversation. So I started working with startups, where for the last several years, I've been working as a design and production consultant, where I help young entrepreneurs, people looking to come into the fashion industry, or even somewhat established brands who need to take their brand to the next level or introduce a new category. I help take people's creative vision from initial concept to market. And so that brings me to the book, Threading the Needle, where I self-published 2 years ago, May 3rd, 2023. I realized that I wanted to talk about my personal and professional journey. So I have a lot of personal anecdotes in there. I tell funny stories about dealing with Susan, Mary, and Nicole. I also talk about my journey with helping other brands and and people who are looking to get in the industry. I talk about the journey of taking them from point A to point Z. And one of the key journeys that I want to highlight is one of my favorite products that I was able to build, and a major highlight of my year last year. I worked with a woman, Dr. Morgan Maxwell, who actually, she's the daughter of an NBA Hall of Famer. And I didn't know that until so I didn't know that until we started working together. Like 2 years, she was like, I didn't want to tell you in the beginning because I wanted you to, work with me. honestly, but we create, over the last 2 years, we've created a hands-free pumping maternity robe. So you can luxuriate and also pump with an electrical pump while you like check your emails, run errands, or walk the dog, or even taking care of your child. And so that is something that I'll explain how you can purchase at the end. But it's called For Me Maternity. And actually last year we were approved for my first and her first design patent from the US government. So we were patent pending for 2 years, but now that product is patented. And she came to me with this really ingenious idea where she's like, I'm a mother, I'm a Black, and there are no, she realized that there was no prominent Black woman-owned maternity lines. And as many people, some people may know that Black women often really struggle during their pregnancies, but also during delivery. And so, and then postpartum. And so she wanted to create this item that like basically gives them this hug that they never got before. And I got to be part of creating.
Now you're about to be rich because you got a patent. So maybe you might be able to skip your microphase.
Period. Listen, but
book,
I know I'm super excited. I mean, that was just really such amazing thing. So check For Me Maternity out. But those are the types of journeys that I talk about in the book.
And that's amazing. And those are the types of journeys that people need to read about because they're inspirational, especially when we're talking about starting up a business. So there's two things I want to touch on. Hold on.
Sure.
Got these goddamn dogs. The first thing, guys, for everyone who's asking, where can you get the book?
Right.
You can go. So number one, the link is in the description box of this video and it'll live there forever. And if you use promo code Funky20, you'll get 20% off. Who was that? Oh, that's the Lord, the dog. I thought somebody else was in my house. The dog sticking their nose up under the door.
They're interested in the book.
that part. Hey guys, the link will forever live in the video. You can use promo code Funky20. And additionally, I want you guys to go over to Kadeem's Instagram, which is K_Alfonso. And you can also click the link in his bio to purchase the book there and use promo code Funky20. Now we got a lot of questions in the chat in reference to your fashions. Can people also, do you have fashions for sale? Do you have a line? Talk to us about that.
So thank you for saying fashions because I forgot to make a pre-planned joke earlier, which was my Kennedy Center show was very different than our good sis Sheree Whitfield because it was a fashion show with fashion.
Right, with fashion.
And it was not dreadful.
It was not dreadful.
How dreadful.
I love it.
So I am a women's couture designer, and so I primarily focus on special occasions. So like weddings, prom season is about to come up. So if you need a custom gown, that's a custom gown or any custom fashion piece that is one of a kind, I'm your person. You can book a consultation in my link tree, which also go follow me on Instagram and then click my link tree, book a consultation. I'm happy to try to make your vision.
I love it. And Kadeem, before we get up out of here, is there anything else you would want the people to know in closing?
Absolutely. So I have a book signing coming up this weekend. If you are in New York, come to Ridgewood's Cafe and Lounge in Ridgewood, New York, from 1 to 4. I'll be there on Saturday signing books and doing a meet and greet. I was accepted into a artist residency in Greece at the end of this. So I'll be going from April, the end of March to mid-April. So I'm super pumped about that. And as you mentioned, the best way to get the book, I'm offering you the Funky Bunch discount code. Normally the book is $25, but if you go to my Instagram, click on my link in bio, the first thing that you can do is order a signed copy. So again, Threading the Needle, and the title is Threading the Needle. And if you once you make the payment, just put Funky20 so I know that you got it from you purchase it from this call, and your price is $20, not $25. So I'm super pumped that I got to share this with people and got to finally meet you.
And we are super pumped to have shared in this with you. Kadeem, thank you so much. And be sure, since we share the same publicist, I'm pretty sure Miss Shelby will keep me updated. But you always have a home here if ever you got anything new you want to promote or get the word out. My platform is your platform.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kadeem. You have a good night. You guys get Threading the Needle. Go to K_Alfonso on Instagram and use promo code funky20 to get the book for all of you guys out there who are looking for a little inspiration, looking for a way to get started in the fashion business, looking to hear the trials and tribulations that dealing with them damn Karen Nicoles, Jannas, what else their names be, Steph, Nicole, Monica, dealing with all of those girls. You might want to check out this book. Now let's jump right back into the tail end of the show. We got some few more stories. We got 3 stories, 2 that go with one another. So the first story that I want to jump on, and I'm going to tell y'all something. Your girl Sexy Red scored some points with me. I love the fact that Sexy Red publicly apologized to president of the Down Low Lesbian Club, Bernice King. We talked about it yesterday, how Bernice King called the AI generated images distasteful, deplorable, and disrespectful. And Sexy Red wrote, "You ain't wrong. Never meant to disrespect your family. My apologies. Just reposted something I saw that I thought was innocent." I'm going to tell you something. Sexy Red gets 9 million cool points with me for this. She gets 9 million cool points with me for this because typically people who share people who share Sexy Red's background would have got ignorant and indignant and would have been calling her all type of bees and all types of different little things like that. And that was very respectful. And it shows that Sexy Red does have some level of good manners, behavior, common sense, and was raised relatively right up under all that raunchy. She was raised right up under all that raunchy. And I think it goes even further when it comes to bridging the gap, because Bernice King heard what Sexy Red had to say and she accepted her. And not only did she accept her apology, she said something even more profound. She said, sincerely, she accepts her apology and she adds, "I value you as a human being." And it doesn't strike me as odd that Bernice King on the surface may not have known who Sexy Red is. And I'm pretty sure everybody around her in her camp was like, "Oh, she's this raunchy, degenerate, so on and so forth." And that's why in Bernice King's earlier social media posts, she spoke about, "I don't see her as a degenerate, and I don't see her as this, that, and the third." And I love the fact that she added, "And I value you as a human being," because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people around Bernice express words of devaluing when it comes to Sexy Red. So shouts out to 2 Black women, one from the civil rights era or a vestige of the civil rights era, and one that's going to send us back into needing the civil rights era, for handling this thing like women, so it's no longer a story and we can move on. And last but not least, y'all, Rihanna finna have to use all her Fendi money to get her man out of jail. So ASAP Rocky, he's rejecting a plea deal that was offering him 180 days in jail. What's that, y'all? A half a year. And they claim that the gun in the security video was a prop. So listen, ASAP Rocky declined a plea deal just before jury selection began in his trial on assault charges. The 36-year-old artist, whose real legal name is Raheem Myers, is accused of pulling a gun on fellow rapper ASAP Rocky during an altercation in Hollywood. Prosecutors offered Myers a plea deal that included 180 days in jail, 3 years probation, and a suspended 7-year sentence if he admitted to one of the 2 assault charges. Myers rejected the offer, stating he respectfully declined. Myers was charged August 22nd, 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm with additional allegations that he personally used the weapon, yada, 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 yada. Now, here's the thing. Because this was an altercation between 2 rappers, 2, dudes of, relatively equal background, I literally was okay with him, like, kind of getting away with this or getting off with it, or, whatever. Let them handle it between the 2 of them. And ASAP, because you Rihanna, man, like, I want the best for you because I love y'all together, and I love y'all for what y'all do as a couple and what y'all represent. But do you honestly believe that anybody who has anything above a third grade education is going to honestly believe you were carrying a prop gun? And see, I don't know who advised you and what type of legal team that you set up. Number one, you ain't white. These type of far-fetched fairy tales, they work for white people who have the judges in their pocket. Number two, with you being a rapper and considering all of the um preconceived notions that come along in people's heads when it comes to rappers, there's just not a world. There is just not a world where anyone is going to believe that a rapper got into an altercation with someone and pulled a prop gun on them. And then the sad part about it is you, Rihanna, your camp, your mammy, God forbid you got parents like Tory Lanez, y'all are gonna get y'all ass in the TV and in the news and holler about it's a prop gun and gonna want to go off on us and cuss us all out over a prop gun that we know is not a prop gun. We know it wasn't a prop gun. You know it wasn't a prop gun. I just honestly wish you just wouldn't have said nothing about the makings of the gun. But for you to sit up here, I'm not going to lie to you. If I was the judge, your ass would do at least 3 months in jail for playing on my intelligence. You would do at least 3 months in jail for playing on my intelligence. And with that being said, y'all, I ain't gonna play on Father Time's intelligence any longer because it's 9:02 and I'm finna get off the line before these dogs finish destroying my damn house. Y'all, we had a really good show tonight. Don't forget, if you're interested in doing anything in fashion and starting up fashion or even just getting closer to Kadeem Alonso Fife, you definitely want to go follow him up. Follow him at K_Alfonso over there on Instagram. And I want to give a special shout out to all 8,000 of you guys who joined us tonight. We got about 6,500 of y'all that are still with us right now, but it was about 8,000 of y'all at our peak. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.